Okay, good morning to all. Yesterday we have completed about the frequency sampling methods and few of the examples related to that. Today we go for the next theory, that is design of FIR differentiators. Okay, so differentials are used in many analog and digital systems to take the derivative of a signal, and ideal differentiator has a frequency response that is linearly proportional to frequency. So simple, the differentiator is used whenever we require the derivative of a signal. And when we talk about the ideal differentiator, when the ideal differentiator has a frequency response that is linearly proportional to the frequency. So an ideal differentiator having frequency response given by hd omega is equal to j omega, where omega is between minus pi to pi. So when we apply the inverse Fourier transform and find out the unit sample response for hd omega, then it is given as hdn is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to pi hd omega into e raised to j omega n. Now we apply the value of hd omega over here, and when we simplify, we got the answer, that is cos pi n divided by n, and the limits are for the value of n are minus infinity to infinity, but when n is not equal to 0. Okay, so this is nothing but if any differentiator frequency response is given, how we will get the unit sample response for that particular differentiator. Okay, so let us write one example related to this. This is a very easy theory. Only you have to utilize this equation, and along with this you have to utilize the window function. Okay, so first is design the ideal differentiator using rectangular and Hamming window of length 21. I repeat the statement which is on your screen. Design the ideal differentiator using rectangular and Hamming window of length 21. So for the ideal differentiator, the HDN is given as cos pi n divided by n, and the range of n is minus infinity to infinity. N is not equal to 0, and 0 for the values of n is equal to 0. And for window function, if I'm writing this, just a second, let me correct this equation. Okay, so using windowing method, we can write h of n is equal to hd n minus alpha into omega n, where 0 is less than or equal to n less than or equal to 20, because here length is given as 21. So we have to calculate the number of samples from 0 to 20, and 10 is nothing but your line of symmetry. So we are taking n is not equal to 10. So hn is equal to hd n minus alpha into omega n. This will be the equation of hn using windowing method. Okay, so let us solve with the rectangular window first. So using rectangular window, m is equal to 21 and alpha is equal to 10. In some of the books this is mentioned as tau, and some of the books it is mentioned as alpha. So simply the equation for this is given as, if m is having odd value, then m minus 1 by 2 will be the tau or alpha. So here m having the 21 value, 21 minus 1, that is 20 by 2. So you are getting alpha is equal to 10 over here. Okay, remember this thing. In many of the books it is mentioned as tau. So n minus tau or n minus alpha is given. The calculation is very simple. Is m is having odd value, then m minus 1 by 2. If m having the even value, then m by 2. So using rectangular window, for rectangular window no need to apply the windowing function, because we all know for the rectangular window omega n is equal to 1 for all the values. Okay, so for the entire length you are getting the one value, so only you have to calculate the hdn. So for the rectangular window, hn is same as hdn. So here we are calculating the hdn, that is cos pi n minus alpha. So alpha is 10, so n minus 10 divided by n minus alpha for the values of n from 0 to 20, where n is not equal to 10, and 0 for n is equal to 10. So filter coefficient will be, if you apply this equation and calculate, you will get all these filter coefficients 0 to 10, and remaining you can write with the help of symmetry. So here h0 is equal to minus h20, that is minus 0.1. Similarly, H1 is equal to minus H19 is equal to minus 0.1111. Similarly, you can calculate all these values H0 to H5 and H4, H6 to H10. Okay, so this is how you can solve the examples of differentiator using rectangular window. Now I repeat the statement. First is you have to solve with the rectangular window. Now I suggest all of you to solve with the Hamming window of length 21 and share your answer in the comment box. You have to calculate the window function, multiply the window function with the HDN. Here whatever HN is given, that is nothing but HDN. So you have to take this H values and the whatever window function values you are getting, multiply both and derive the answer. And share your answer in the comment box. I suggest all of you to solve and share your answer in the comment box. I'm stopping the presentation for a few minutes and let me check how many of you are trying to solve that. CO12, Rajnish Kumar, please unmute. CO12, Rajnish Kumar, please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yes, are you trying to solve that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me the which windowing function you are applying for Hamming window. Yes, Rajnish,
Yes, sir.
tell me which windowing function you are applying for Hamming window.
Sir, I am looking for formula I find in PPT.
You have to remember that formula. Only few windows are there.
Yes, sir.
Around 5 minutes I already given. Still you are looking for the formula?
Sir, PPT is not available.
No need to look into the PPTs. You have to remember these formulas. Only
Okay,
4 or
sir.
5 windows are used in our as per your syllabus. So that
Yes,
you have
sir.
to
Yes.
remember.
Yes. Sir,
Okay.
yes,
Try to
zero.
solve that and share your answer as you are getting the solution. I'm expecting answer from your side. Roll number 12.
Yes, sir.
Roll number 19, Sanjeev Soni. Please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you trying to solve this example?
Yes, sir. But I'm not getting the formula of Hamming window.
Why? We already discussed the formula.
Sir, I don't remember.
Don't remember. Great.
So I'm looking at PPTs.
Okay. Find out and what is your roll number? 19. Share your answer after completion.
Okay, sir.
CO40 Gautam. Please unmute. CO40 Gautam. Please unmute.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Are you trying to solve this example?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you tell me the formula for Hamming window?
Sir, I'm also looking at PPT formula.
Okay. For today, for these three students, 12, 19, and 40, you have to share your answers and solution with me. Then only I am taking your attendance. Solve the entire
Yes,
exam and share your answer.
yes, sir.
Okay. Now you can mute. I suggest all of you to please solve the example with me. If you have any query, you can ask. Otherwise, do the solution parallel with me so we can share if you are finding any difficulty or anything. These are very easy examples. Just a second. Any of you got the answer for at least few points? Yes, any of you? Okay, at the end, after checking the roll number 12, 19, and 40, I will share the answer at the end for this example. Okay, we go for the next theory. Design of Hilbert transforms. So the frequency response of an ideal transformer is given by, so here we have to calculate we have to design the Hilbert transform using this FIR filter design theory. So first we are writing about the frequency response of ideal transformer. So which is given as HD e raised to j omega is equal to minus j for the value of omega from 0 to pi, and value is equal to j for minus omega to 0. So simply the meaning of this is magnitude response of Hilbert transform is 1 for all frequencies. It is having the real part, or you can say the value is equal to 1 for all frequencies. It introduces phase shift of minus 90 degree when omega is greater than 0 and plus 90 degree when omega is less than 0. So
So this is a simple characteristic of the Hilbert transform. It is having the magnitude response 1 for all frequencies, but it introduced the phase shift of minus 90 degree when omega is greater than 0 and plus 90 degree when omega is less than 0. So that's why you are getting the minus j term when omega is in the range of 0 to pi, and j when omega is in the range of minus pi to 0. When omega is greater than 0, in first case you are getting the minus 90 degree, so minus j. In second, plus 90 degree, so you are getting the j term over here. Hilbert transforms are used in communication in various places. So one is few of them are communication system and signal processing. So now we find out the impulse response for an ideal Hilbert transform is. So whatever equation we are using for the calculation of impulse transform, same equation we are applying over here. HDN is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to pi HD e raised to j omega into j e raised to j omega and dw. Okay. So in this, when you go for the simplification, HDN is equal to 1 upon 2 pi. Now I'm dividing this equation into two parts. First, I'm taking the range minus pi to pi, for which I'm having the value positive j over here. So j e raised to j omega in dw or d omega minus another limit for the integration is 0 to pi, where I'm having the minus value. So here I'm taking this minus value outside. So minus j e raised to j omega in dw. Now I am applying doing the integration, and after integration I'm simplifying the answer. So here final answer will be HDN is equal to 1 upon 2 pi n 2 minus e raised to j omega n minus e raised to minus j omega, not omega but pi, sorry. 1 upon 2 pi n is equal to 2 minus e raised to j pi n minus e raised to minus j pi n. So when you simplify this, this will be the final equation for HDN for this Hilbert transform. HDN is equal to 1 minus cos pi n upon pi n. If you want to simplify it further in the using the trigonometry, you are getting the answer, that is 2 sine square pi n by 2 divided by pi n for n is not equal to 0 and 0 where n is equal to 0. You can use either of these equation because both are similar. In the second only we have taken the utilize the trigonometric equation and simplified in the form of, so 2 sine square pi n by 2 by pi n, or you can use 1 minus cos pi n by pi n. So HDN is infinite in duration and non-causal. Okay, so the frequency response of an linear phase transform is given by, so HD e raised to j omega is equal to minus j into e raised to minus j alpha omega 0 to pi j e raised to minus j alpha omega minus pi to 0. So here we have to calculate this alpha, which is m minus 1 by 2. So the filter coefficients are anti-symmetrical about n is equal to 0. So when you plot this, simply we can say that here we are getting the value minus j for 0 to pi. So here you are getting the value minus j from 0 to pi. Okay, and similarly here you are getting the value plus j for the range 0 to minus pi. So from 0 to minus pi you are having the value plus j. So when you plot this, you can say that filter coefficients are anti-symmetrical. So they are not following the symmetrical criteria. They are anti-symmetrical about the n is equal to 0. So this is nothing but line of anti-symmetry, you can say. So this filter coefficients having the characteristic that is anti-symmetrical and about n is equal to 0, which satisfy the equation that is HDN is equal to minus of HD minus n. Okay, so which always true for the Hilbert transform. So based on this, we have written this equation. This is the general equation. When we are getting anti-symmetry, we are writing this HDN is equal to minus HD of minus n. Okay, so this is the Hilbert transform, and this is what about its impulse transform, impulse function or impulse transform, and finally this is the plotting of this Hilbert transform, where you can easily see the anti-symmetric condition. This output of this frequency responsive Hilbert transform is anti-symmetric about n is equal to 0. Okay, and the frequency response for, as we have discussed here, HDN is infinite in duration and non-causal. So to make it causal, so the frequency response for causal transform is given by h dash e raised to j omega n is equal to 1 to n Cn into sine omega n. We are utilizing this function for the calculation of frequency response for causal transform. Earlier, whatever equation we have written over here, that is for infinite duration and which is non-causal. So here we are taking the Cn coefficient. I will show you the Cn coefficient in the example, how to calculate. So here it is known as a h dash e raised to j omega, that is summation from n is equal to 1 to n Cn sine omega n. Through this equation, we are able to calculate the frequency response for a causal transformer. Okay. Now write down one example. If do you have any query in the theory, you can ask. Okay, roll number 12, 19 and 40. As you solve the previous example, please share your answer with us. Design, we go for this next example. Design an Hilbert transform having frequency response. Here we have to design the ideal Hilbert transform having frequency response HD e raised to j omega is equal to j minus pi to pi and j is equal to 0 less than or equal to pi less than or equal to, or not less than but less than pi. I think here I have to correct something. Just a second. Okay. Here you add the minus here. For first value minus j from minus pi to pi. Okay, so let me correct this typo and then again I'm discussing this ideal Hilbert transform having the frequency response minus j minus pi to 0 and 0 to pi having the plus value. So using a rectangular window, using a Blackman window for n is equal to 11. The length of this transform or function is given, n or m is equal to 11, and you have to derive the frequency response or plot the frequency response in both cases. So it is not just we have to calculate h of n, but we have to calculate the frequency response, that is h dash e raised to j omega. That is nothing but filter is frequency response for the causal case. Okay, so let us start the solution. So ideal frequency response is given by, so same equation we are applying. Now applying the value of this Hilbert transform over here. I think okay. Okay, just apply the same equation we are written in the Hilbert transform over here. Minus j from 0 to pi and j from minus pi to 0. So same equation I am written over here, but some typo errors are there. So j is equal to minus pi to 0 and minus j from 0 to pi. So that range I am applying over here, minus pi to 0. In that case, you are having the value plus j over here, and 0 to pi, you are having the value minus j. So HDN is equal to 1 upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to 0 j e raised to j omega and d omega plus integration from 0 to pi minus j into e raised to j omega and d omega. So when you simplify this, you will get the HDN is equal to 1 minus cos pi n by pi n. So the filter coefficients are antisymmetrical about n is equal to 0 and satisfying the condition, that is HDN is equal to minus HD of minus. As we are discussed in the theory, same line we are repeating over here. These Hilbert transform coefficients are following the antisymmetry condition, that is HDN is equal to minus HD of minus n, and antisymmetrical about the origin or n is equal to 0. Okay, now for n is equal to 0,
I'm writing this answer over here. HD is 0. So apply the values for this first case. HD is 0. So j upon 2 pi integration from minus pi to 0 d omega from, and then again next is integration from 0 to pi into d omega. So when you simplify this, you are getting the value of HD 0 over here. HD 1 value is 2 upon pi. So as we have written HDN using the antisymmetry condition, HDN is equal to minus of HD minus N. Okay. Now here I am taking HD1. I am applying the equation for that. Answer is 2 upon pi. And here, which is same as minus HD of minus 1. So minus HD of minus 1. Similarly, we calculate the value of HD2, which is 0. HD3, 2 upon 3 pi. HD4, 0. HD5, that is 2 upon 5 pi. So total 11 values we have calculated as n, or our m value is given 11 over here. So you are getting values from minus 5 to plus 5.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir,
Yes, please. If you have any query, you can please ask.
for finding HD of 0, we use integral form, and for other values, we use
Yeah.
direct formula. I understand that
No,
for
you can use the direct formula over here also. I have just written for your simplification understanding only. Here you can, because
because
here,
it is taking 0 upon 0 by 0 form.
just a second. Yeah. HDN is equal to, sorry, my mistake. Yeah, HDN is equal to 1 upon cos pi n by n, which is n is not equal to 0. And for n is equal to 0, we have to take the value 0 directly. So here I have shown the calculation only for your understanding. Otherwise, HD is 0 in the Hilbert transform is always 0. Okay. So this is how I clarify this, how you are getting the 0 over here. And for
Yeah, yeah.
remaining, or here also you can utilize the equation. No, sorry, here you cannot utilize the equation, but you have to simplify it like this.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay. So here you are getting the values from minus 5 n to 5. So total 11 values you are getting, HD 0 to HD 5 and minus HD minus 1 to minus 5. Okay, so this is we are used solved using the rectangular window. Okay, so let us continue with this. All of you got up to this. If you have any query, you can please ask.
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
Sir, the equation that we have written previously, HDN equals to sigma C of n sine omega n, what we have to
That we are utilizing for the causal calculation. I am coming to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's all the question.
Okay. So here we are solved up to the HDN. Now we are using the rectangular window. So in rectangular window, as we know, the function having this value 1 only. So we can write this equation, h of n is equal to HDN into omega Rn, which is nothing but the function of rectangular window. So rectangular window function is having value 1. So you are getting the same as HDN for the value of n from minus 5 to 5. So I am writing these values again, which we are getting in the previous slide. H1 is equal to h of minus 1 minus of h minus 1, that is 2 upon pi. Next value is 0, 2 upon 3 pi, 0, and 2 upon 5 pi. So the transfer function of the Hilbert transform is given as. So these three values are having the value, other remaining values are having the answer is 0 for these two, h2 and h4. So I am getting this function h of z is equal to 2 upon pi z into z s to minus 1 plus 2 upon 3 pi z s to 3 minus z s to minus 3 plus 2 upon 5 pi z s to 5 minus z s to minus 5. Okay. So here the realizable function, that is h dash z, is equal to, we are multiplying this with the z s to minus 5. Okay. Into hz. So when you multiply this in the previous equation, you are getting this answer h dash z is equal to 2 upon 5 pi plus 2 upon 3 pi z raised to minus 4 minus upon pi to minus 6 minus 2 upon 3 pi z raised to minus 8 minus 2 upon 5 pi z raised to minus 10. And when you simplify these values, which is given in the form of pi, you are getting this next equation, which is 0.1273 plus 0.2122 z raised to minus 2 plus 0.6366 z raised to minus 4. And remaining values you can write easily with the help of anti-symmetry. That is, whatever values you are getting positive over here, you are getting the negative values over here. 0.6366 z raised to minus 6 minus 0.2122 z raised to minus 8 minus 0.1273 z raised to minus 10. Okay, so the causal sequence of Hilbert transform is given as, now here we have written the answer in the form of causal sequence. So H0, H1, H2, H4. So first H0, H0 is same as minus H10, which is clearly visible from here. H0 and this H10 coefficient having the value 0.1273. And next coefficient available with us is second coefficient. So first I'm writing this H0 coefficient, then H2 coefficient is equal to minus of H8, which is having the value 0.2122. Next coefficient is Z is to minus 4, or you can say the H4 coefficient, and same coefficient you are getting over here in the sixth one. So H4 is equal to minus H6 is equal to 0.6366. Remaining coefficients means these coefficients are not available in the final equation. H1, H9, H3, H7 and H5. All these coefficients are 0. Okay, so we are getting H0 having value H0, H10 having value 0.1273, H2 minus H8 0.2122, H4 minus H6 having value 0.6366. Remaining coefficients H1, H3, H5, H7 and H9, these coefficients having the value 0. Okay, now we are implementing this, and this is called the realizable transfer function or the implementation of the causal function. So whatever equation we have written earlier, h dash e raised to j omega, that is summation of n is equal to 1 to 5 cn sine omega n. So for the cn, the equation is 2 of h m minus 1 by 2 minus n. So for example, I am taking the value of c, n is equal to 1 over here. So when n is equal to 1, you are getting c1 is equal to twice of h m minus 1. Here m having value 11, 11 minus 1, 10, 10 by 2, 5, 5 minus 1. So here you are getting the value 4. So means C1 coefficient is nothing but twice of H4 coefficient. So whatever H4 coefficient you have calculated, take that coefficient, twice of that will give you this C1 coefficient. Similarly, you calculate the C2, that is twice of H3, C3 coefficient, twice of H2, C4 coefficient, twice of H1, and C5 coefficient, twice of H0. So you are getting, as only 3 values are available in our equation, we are getting the three non-zero values over here: 1.2732, 0.4242, 0.2546, and these values are 0. Okay, so I am applying this value into this equation, first one. So h dash e raised to j omega is given as 1.2732 sine omega plus 0.4244 sine 3 omega plus 0.2546 sine 5 omega. Here we are applying the h dash e raised to j omega. So now we have to calculate this h of e raised to j omega. So I am multiplying all this equation with minus j. So minus j, h dash of e raised to j omega will provide you the value of h e raised to j omega. So just these all values multiplied with minus j. So minus j 1.2732 sine omega plus 0.4244 sine 3 omega plus 0.2546 sine 5 omega. When you apply these values, okay, so you are getting this function. Now for the plotting, as the plot is also asked, if plot is not asked, this will be your final answer. For the plotting purpose, you have to take the different values of omega and you have to plot. So here I am taking the value omega 0, 10, 20, 30, 45, and we calculate the h e raised to j omega, that is 0,
minus j 0.627, minus j 1.05, minus j 1.19, minus j 1.02. So when you plot this few values and the frequency spectrum, your frequency response will be here h of e raised to j omega will be, here you are getting the maximum value, that is j, here you are getting the maximum value, that is minus j. So you plot these values from 0 to pi. As we know, the ideal response will be like this. Ideal Hilbert transform response will be like this. Maximum value is j over here and minus j over here. Okay, so by applying this value, you are able to say that this kind of ripples you are getting in both sides. Here you are getting this ripples over here. Similar ripples due to anti-symmetry you are getting in this direction also. Okay, so this is the ideal one, and this is what you get after applying these given values. Okay, so this will be the final frequency response for this example. Okay, now all of you just try to find out the answer with the Blackman window. Okay, let me share the answer because time is very less. Only 20 minutes are available with us. Let me share the answer with you. So the Blackman window sequence is given by the equation for n is equal to 11. That is omega bn is equal to 0.42 plus 0.5 cos pi n by 5 plus 0.07 cos 2 pi by n by 5. For n is equal to 0 to 11, 0 otherwise. So when you apply this n value and calculate the Blackman window function, you are getting these values. Omega b0 is equal to 0, omega b1 is equal to omega b minus 1 is equal to 0.849, second value that you are getting 0.509, then you are getting 0.2, and then you are getting the value 0.04, and omega b5 you are getting omega b minus 5, that is 6. So you are getting these values when you are taking the Blackman window. Now I suggest all of you to take the HDN from the previous example, multiply with this omega n value and find out the final answer.
सर
Yes, Jinendra?
सर इसमें ब्लैकमैन विंडो के लिए 0.08 आता है ना थर्ड मतलब WBN
Yeah, in few of the books they are you can take that equation also. In few of the books they have used this equation. In both the equation you are getting only changes in the value after 2 decimal places. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
you can utilize any of this. In Oppenheim and Schaeffer they have taken this equation. In Procky's whatever equation you told me, that they have utilized that equation. So you can use any of the equation. Only you are getting minor change after second decimal place in your final answer.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. I suggest all of you to please go for the solution of this example, and as you are getting the answer, please share it with me. First, let me know the values for H0 to H5, whatever values you are getting. After multiplying this Windows function, then let me know the realizable transfer function equation, and finally realizable transfer function in the form of H dash e raised to j omega. Please solve and share your answer in the comment box. For Hemming, for previous example, you are sharing the answer, Sanjeev. Just a second. Okay. Second, H1 is also minus 0.0114. Please check, Sanjay, and correct that value. In second, minus 0.008, that is correct. H1 also you are getting the minus value, minus 0.0114. Any of you calculate the value of this coefficient of Hilbert transform? Please share the answer. What will be the value for H0? Sir, getting positive. Then check your answer is not correct, Sanjeev. I will share the answer at the end. Okay, H0 is equal to 0 for this example of Hilbert transform. H1 is equal to 0.5404. Okay. Okay. Calculate H2, H3 and H4. H2 is again 0. Okay. H4 is equal to 0.0423. Okay, 0.042 up to 2 decimal places. Your answer is correct. And next is H4. 0. Okay. I'm sharing the answer in the comment box. H0 is equal to 0. H1 is equal to minus H of minus 1, that is 2 pi into 0.849, that is 0.5405. H2 is equal to minus H of minus 2, that is 0. H3 is equal to minus H minus 3 is equal to 2 upon 3 pi into 0.2, that is 0.0423. And last one is also 0. Okay. Now you have to calculate the value of H dash Z. Calculate the values of H Z Z. For H dash Z, you are getting this equation. Let me share the equation. 0.425 Z dash to minus 2, 0.45 Z dash to minus 4, minus 0.54 Z dash to minus 6, minus 0.0425 Z dash to minus 8. This will be your answer for H dash Z. Now write down the causal sequence of Hilbert transform, which is very easy to write. Only here you are getting coefficient 2, 4, 6 and 8. Okay, remaining coefficients are 0. So when you have represent in terms of causal coefficients, then these are your causal coefficients. H0 is equal to H10, H1, H9, H3, H7, H5. Out of 10 coefficients or 11 coefficient, these 6 coefficient having the value 0 because they are not present in the final equation. And H2 is equal to minus H8, that is equal to 0.424. And Gautam, let me finish this. Then again, we will check about the previous example. Okay. H2 is equal to minus H8, 0.424, and H4 is equal to minus H6, 0.54. So these will be the coefficient, causal coefficient. Now find out the realizable transfer function for this particular equation and share your answer with me. Okay, Gautam, let me check your answer for the second one. H2 is equal to minus you will Gautam Chaudhary, you will get this answer. H2 is equal to minus H18 is equal to minus 0.21, not 0.0091. Okay, all of you find out the realizable transfer function for this example. Okay, please calculate the realizable transfer function for this second example of Hilbert transform and share the answer with me. Okay, let me share the answer with you. Okay, so the realizable transfer function h dash e raised to j omega summation from 1 to 5 cn sin omega n. When you apply the values, your answer will be 1.0 n 0.89. Calculate the h of e raised to j omega. Multiply this term with the minus j. So minus j into h dash e raised to j omega. So our equation, final equation will be h e raised to j omega h e raised to j omega is equal to minus j 1.08 sin omega plus 0.089 sin 3 omega. So this will be the final plot. Here we are taking few values of omega 0, 15, 30 up to 180. So here you are getting the minus j 0.339 minus 0.624 then up to 0. So if you plot by taking few of the more values over here, you are getting this kind of frequency response for this window. Okay. So this will be the plotting of this second example. Okay, so with this we are finishing the FIR filter design. So from next lecture onward, we will go for the IAR filter design. We will discuss the, I suggest all of you to go for the theories, at least you overview the theories. So it will help us to solve the examples little faster. Okay, because
Sir?
we are having very less time. Yes, Dinendra.
सर मेरा है ना वो 1.08 साइन ओमेगा प्लस 0.828 साइन 3 ओमेगा आ रहा था. मैं गलत हूँ क्या या फिर कुछ गड़बड़ है? 0.828 साइन ओमेगा आ रहा था.
मेरे पास अभी यही आंसर अवेलेबल है.
0.828 साइन 3 ओमेगा. 0.828 साइन 3 ओमेगा. 828 साइन 3 ओमेगा.
I will check that. Because at present I am having this answer available with me. I will apply the values. I will check also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You also try to, and if I'm getting this typo error or something in the book, I will share the updated answer with you.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But okay. So this is how we can solve the FIR method. Next time we will go for the IR method and all. So I suggest all of you to read the theory for IR filters from the Prockeys or any of the other books, IR filter and their designing method. In next lecture, I will give you some highlights about the theory and then immediately we go for the examples, because we are having very few lectures remaining and we have to complete the unit 3 as well as unit 4. Okay, so please cooperate and read the theories so we can cover the syllabus little faster. Okay, let me take the today's attendance and let me share the answer of the second example also. Please note down the answer of the second example. Okay, this will be the answer using Hamming window. Please note down this answer. H0 is equal to minus H20 minus 0.008. So this total
0 to H20 values you are getting when you are taking the black magnitude. Please take the screenshot or note down this answer. This is the answer of second example of differentiator.